Well, hi, this is Scott here at Owens Aviation in Denton, Texas. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new MX-7-180B. Let's take a look. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this aircraft. This is a brand new 2008 MX-7-180B. Now, this aircraft is equipped with a carbureted 0360 Lycoming and is turning the 76-inch Hartzell two-blade prop. Now, the MX-7-180B is our first aircraft in our lineup. Has a standard size cabin, 4 windows down the side, 4 seats total with an ample size baggage compartment with double doors in the back that I'll show you here in a minute. This is a great aircraft for someone that's looking at something in a 2-place variant like a Cub variant or a Scout that says, you know what, I just want more space, or my wife or my friend doesn't like riding in the back and you need that side-by-side bush plane experience. As I'll show you in a little bit, the rear seat's removable and it turns it into a 2-place aircraft with an enormous baggage compartment. And these aircraft, and this particular one, has a useful load of 988 pounds. Most of them are right there at 1,000 pounds. It's just amazing and just way more than you're going to get in any 2-place bird at that point, and still more than enough than some of the even 4-place aircraft out there. We have 85 gallons of fuel, which again is just an enormous amount of fuel. That's 8.5 hours of range, burning around 10 gallons an hour at 75% power. So I'll walk you through some of the options here and we'll see what you think of the airplane. Well, let's start out with the landing gear. The MX-7-180B has the oleo gear. The B denotes oleo gear, the C denotes the spring aluminum gear. Now, the thing that's nice about the oleo gear, and the reason that we put it on our 180s, is it weighs less, so you have a higher useful load, and it costs less than the C gear. So one of the strong points of this aircraft is the useful load, and we don't want to take away from that. Another nice thing about this gear, 2 other things. One is the track. It's a 6-foot track, and for those of you that like to land the aircraft out on a dirt road, that'll track right down behind a truck or a Jeep on a dirt road, no problem. The C gear is roughly 2 feet, 1 foot 10 inches wider than that, so that's not really an option for those types of landings. The other thing is, if you're going to be using the aircraft on floats, the gear is going to be removed. So there's no point in spending more money and adding weight to an aircraft that's going to have the landing gear removed, put in a box. Now, this particular 180B is also equipped with the heavy-duty dual puck brakes, which allow the use of the Alaska bush wheels, and that means that there's no hardware changes. If you decide you want to go from these tires, which are currently sitting on 850s, you can use 800s, 850s. You can go to any of the sizes of the Alaska bush wheels. I prefer the 31s. And if you go to the photo gallery, you'll see this aircraft actually on a set of 31s, so you can get an idea how it looks. It looks really good, and it handles and flies really well with those 31s. Now, the aircraft comes standard with the Maule tail wheel. We prefer the Alaska bush tail wheel, which we have installed on this particular aircraft. We feel it improves the ground handling and the reliability. Well, there's some things up here on top of the wing I'd like to show you. One is our vortex generator kit. This is from Micro Aerodynamics. It improves the slow speed handling of the aircraft. I find it reduces the stall speed by about 10%. Also here, these little covers are for our lift rings. The aircraft's equipped with the float provisions where you have lift rings and the weld points in case you need to add floats. They won't have to go chopping into the airplane. It's already set up for that, which is really nice, as well as a stainless steel kit. And you may have noticed the wings are all metal, and the fuselage, you'll notice later, is covered from the forward doorpost back. And here you can see our fuel system. There's our main fuel tanks here, 21.5 gallons in the inboards, and the outer cap there, 21 gallons. Basically the same exact aluminum tanks, no bladder tanks, so you don't have to worry about those deteriorating over time. Now the fuselage is fabric covered, starting with the forward door post. extending all the way aft, and including the vertical fin, rudder, horizontal stabilizer, and elevator. The wings, of course, as I said earlier, are full metal with metal flaps and ailerons. Now, a couple other things I'd like to show you here. One is we have the grab handles, which are really helpful in maneuvering the airplane on the ground. And also here, the dual lift struts. Now, these come in handy if you're on float operations. You're going to need those, as well as banner towing. It just stiffens the horizontal stabilizer. Now, one other thing that we're going to do for you with the purchase of this aircraft new is we give you your own custom VIN number. Our 591 Sierra Bravo number comes off. We search, find the number you want, and install that for you. Now, another interesting thing about the Maule is their flap system. If you'll notice, these flaps are reflexed up 7 degrees off of neutral. This improves the cruise speed of the aircraft, and it's a real nice feature. It comes at no additional cost of weight, and really all aircraft ought to be built this way. Now, we'll put the flaps into the neutral position, and then I'll add the additional notches. As you can see, we have an ample amount of flap on this airplane. Now, while we're looking at the flaps, I'd like to talk a little bit about performance. Of course, as you know, the Maule is all about short takeoff or landing. And this particular aircraft at gross weight, which is 2,500 pounds, will give you a ground roll of approximately 600 feet with a 1,100 foot over a 50 foot obstacle. Now, that's at 2,500 pounds, and keeping in mind this airplane's carrying 1,000 pounds. If you were to say offload 300 pounds, which would get it down to the approximate useful load on a Scout and some of the Cub variants, you're going to improve that performance considerably. Which is nice because, again, the airplane's a 4-place aircraft, but you could operate it as a 2-place with an enormous baggage compartment, massive useful load and range, and if you chose to carry what you can only carry in the other variants, you could get your performance to be fairly similar to those aircraft. Yet you still have the capability of going 2 more seats, more baggage, more range, more useful load, and less money. Well, let me show you the doors, windows, and the observation package. The observation glass on this aircraft consists of the front pilot, co-pilot door panels done in glass, and we also have the greenhouse roof as well. This is really great visibility as you're sitting in the aircraft. It's easy to see to the inside of a turn, and looking down, it's as if the doors are not even on the aircraft. So some people I know like to fly with the doors off, and you can do that in this airplane, but I think you'll find that it's just really not necessary. The visibility is really no different. Now, for those that don't like that much of a view, or maybe you're trying to warm the cabin up some, we have a full upholstered covers that mount right on each side and include a nice little pocket. Now, the cabin windows open fully 90 degrees, gas assist strut, and the aircraft can be flown with the windows open. Well, that's it for part 1. We'll move on to the interior and the avionics in part 2. See you over there.